Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, Pat on your back, personal fitness. Tonight, talking about, hey, Bonnie, you're quick tonight too, on the draw. That's star again, first one in. Tonight, we're talking about our theme words for 2023. So we're going to build on last week. We talked about goal setting, SMART goals, why goals are important, and trying to look at the term goal as opposed to a New Year's resolution, and really starting now to plan for 2023. And tonight we're going to jump onto that kind of next phase, which is theme words. So trying to take our goal that we talked about last week. Hopefully you had the week to maybe look at some goals, and even if they're not concrete yet, that's okay. Just putting things in play, in process a bit, brainstorming a little bit. You don't have to have it set just yet, but have a rough idea of maybe some goals you think you want to accomplish, or some milestones you want to meet, and then really look at focusing in and fine tuning those. And then the idea would be our theme word will tie in with that as an assist. And we'll talk about how our theme words can help us, or phrases. I'm going to say theme words tonight because that's what I typically do, is a word. But it can be a phrase, a mantra, a couple words, whatever, again, works best for you. There's no one way to do this. We're just trying to give you some ideas and make it work for you. So we're going to talk about those tonight as well. So hopefully those of you tuning in, whether you're with us live or if you're joining us on recording, let us know your theme words if you have them. And even if you're not sure, maybe your ideas, maybe your potential theme words or phrases. Thinking back to last year, our friend Gretchen was joining us, and she mentioned that she couldn't pick between a couple of theme words. She had a couple of things going on that she couldn't just quite decide on which way to go with it. And the two she had, I thought, will fit well together and could become a theme phrase. And she went with that, and it worked out okay. So let me know here in the chats, in the comments, if you have a theme word picked. If you don't want to share it, just say. If you want to wait till the end, that's okay. Or again, if you're, brainstorm. Use the chat and the comments to brainstorm some ideas. That's what Gretchen did last year, and it ended up turning into a bit of a, I was able to sort of combine it, and I thought the two worked well together, and just that outside perspective helped her pick her phrase for the year. So again, feel free to share. Hopefully we're all comfortable enough by now. We know each other enough to share with each other. So I'd love to hear from you on your theme words, or if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. I'd love to hear about your goals. Have you thought about any goals for 2023? Have you put some steps in place? Have you started planning? And again, it doesn't have to be finished 100% by today, but we're just thinking of, again, of trying to get the ball rolling so we go into 2023 with some good forward positive momentum. Rather than waiting until July 1st to scramble and try to create a resolution because everybody else around us is, and because we feel the pressure to do so because society's doing it, or that's what it is. When we can go in with that good momentum starting now, then again, we have a better chance of success because we've put the groundwork in. We've maybe done some trial and error, or maybe put a system and a plan in place. Even if you just work on your plan from now till January 1, that's still forward momentum. That's still positive momentum. That's still further ahead than most people who set their resolutions on January 1. So even if you're not working towards your goal by then, hopefully you are, but if not, even if you're just planning and putting your systems in place, thinking of a contingency plans like we'll talk about in a few weeks, even if that's the work you do now, it's still legwork, and again, still setting you up for probably a higher rate of success than most people who wait till January 1st to set their resolutions, because people around them are setting those resolutions. So if you have a goal or an idea, feel free, again, share with us in the chat, in the comments, let us know, and we can brainstorm and maybe help together, help you fine tune things, or maybe whittle it down, or maybe this goal would include this other goal that you have, so you wouldn't have to worry about which one to pick. Maybe one will encompass a couple things as you're working towards it. Or maybe one could be a short-term goal that will lead to a longer-term full-year goal. And there's lots of ways to look at things. So don't feel pressured to do it just one way, or maybe the way we talk about. Again, play around with it and make it work best for you. Just a quick reminder as well, we did our gratitude challenge over Thanksgiving. We decided to extend that until November 9th. So hopefully you're getting in your 3 things you're most grateful for every day, whatever it is: morning, nighttime, midday, whatever you prefer, at least once a day. I'd like you to take 5 minutes or so, think of the 3 things you're most grateful for, and try to take a bit of time and determine maybe why those came up. What made you think of that person, that thing, that time, that memory? What made you think of it? Why do you feel gratitude towards it? Just to get familiar with that process and that thinking and that feeling of gratitude, so that again we can try to recognize it in the moment and not have to wait till the end of the day or tomorrow morning to practice gratitude for something that happens today. We can do it in the moment as things are happening to us, and then that keeps us in that positive space a little bit more because we're spending more time there in that gratitude mindset. Negative talk or bad attitude sort of thing that we can slip into sometimes. The more we're in gratitude, the less we can be in that mindset. So it'll help us get through our days as well. So again, just a piece of paper, a journal, jot it on your phone, try to write it down just so you can look back on them and just really see the words come out and kind of express that gratitude. And then that could be your next step. If you want to take this a little further, practice expressing the gratitude. So if you're grateful for a friend or a colleague, whatever, try to express that gratitude to them. I was thinking of you today. I'm so grateful for that time we went on that trip, that road trip. I had so much fun. We learned so much. I was just thinking about it. Thanks for being there. Whatever the case is, maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's a place that you can't reach out to, but maybe you can write about it. Maybe you could blog about it. Maybe you could post about it on social media, write about it in your journal. Try to express that gratitude so we get used to, again, sharing. It's kind of awkward sometimes to share gratitude with others because we just feel maybe uncomfortable about it. So that practice is a good key as well. So again, we can express it for ourselves, but also to those people around us who want to hear from us as well. And they may not know they want to hear it, but when they hear that gratitude come towards them, it'll fill their bucket. They'll feel better. Maybe they'll have some gratitude to share to somebody else and pass it forward. And that gets us into that positivity pandemic that we like to talk about here, that spreading of good energy, the kindness, the positivity that we all need a lot more of. So goals, gratitude challenge, and now let's get into our theme words for 2023. So I like theme words. I really embraced them probably a couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago, I guess. I think partway through 21 or maybe 2020 is when I really started. I've heard about them and I've heard people chat about them. Our friend here, you've heard me talk about Todd Durkin, mentions, it looks like his book is a negative title. It's blocked out. Todd has talked about theme words before. He picks a theme word. It's sort of where I heard, hey, Nandy, welcome in, where I heard the idea from. And I just come out of the pandemic and things going on. I thought I would give it a try and have a bit of a theme word going in. So it's still relatively new to me, but I do find it very helpful for me. And I like the theme word because it really sums up, summarizes and sums up my goal. So I set my goals for 2022 this year, or last year for this year. And then I thought of a theme word. So a theme word sort of reminds me of those goals and gets me in tune to them, and it kind of summarizes them a little bit for me. A theme word is also helpful because it can keep you on track. So maybe you're having a busy day, maybe things aren't going well, maybe you're stressed, tired. Seeing that theme word, being reminded of it, can bring you back in to make sure you stay on track with your goal. Maybe instead of falling off the wagon a bit and giving up on your healthy eating that afternoon, or making poor decisions, or taking on too much, or just saying, I'm not going to do it today, I'll get to it tomorrow, which usually turns into a few days or a few weeks for a lot of us. That theme word can really snap you back into place and keep you on track to think, okay, no, I've got to incorporate this. So my theme word for last year was action. That was my theme for 2022, because I felt I would try to learn things and take in information and have good ideas, but the action sometimes was where I was lagging a little bit. So I made action my theme word. I set alarms on my phone to go off. I found a song that had the word action in it almost at the beginning. So I'd hear that right away as well as the alarm went off. So it was a really good cue, even if I didn't see the alarm, because I would label the alarm action on your phones. Most of them will do that now, so you can label the alarm so you see the word, if nothing else. But I found a song that had the word in it too. So even if my phone was in my pocket, I would hear the words a little bit as I was kind of muting the alarm for a little bit. So it was that reminder. And I would even set it at work, working my full-time job, even to hear it there to remind me that when I was done, to put some action into this job, this online virtual coaching business that I'm setting up. But then also as a reminder at work to stay in action, to stay moving, to work towards my goals, to put a best effort forward, to bring out some positive energy, as I find in that environment, a lot of people need it. So it was helpful there too. So I would set multiple alarms through the day just to remind me and be that cue. Natty's here, and Bonnie, I believe, mentioned as well their love of post-it notes. Maybe post-it notes on your mirror, on the fridge, on your computer screen, maybe on the back of your phone, and your locker at school or at work. Just anywhere you'd see them. Maybe on the steering wheel of your car. So when you get in, you see that theme word again. It reminds you of it. It's that cue. It's like having someone there say, action, stay in action, keep moving, you've got it. It's like having a little coach or accountability partner right there with you, which a lot of us really need and can benefit from. But it saves you from having the person having to have someone there with you all the time. You can kind of coach and guide and remind yourself to help you stay on track. So it's good again for staying on track. Theme words, and I find theme words great as well for decision making. So I'm a people pleaser. I'm very quick to say yes when someone asks for help, but sometimes I shouldn't. Sometimes I have a lot on the go, and I should really say no, maybe a little more often. Which I'm sure for a lot of us here in the chat, it's a similar problem. Sometimes your theme words can help you with those decision making, that decision making process. So, can you help me with this report? Can you take on this project? Can you come over and help me learn to do this, or help me with this computer I'm trying to figure out? Your theme word can maybe be that trigger, that cue to think, is this really the best use of my time to work towards my goal that I need to get to? We're so eager to help other people, but remember, we always want to make ourselves a priority first, then we can better serve those around us. If we always put our things off to the side and help others, we'll feel good, we'll get our bucket filled, and they'll be helped. But eventually we'll either be stagnant or maybe even go backwards because we're not doing what we need to do to get better and to progress ourselves. So that theme word or phrase or mantra can be a good cue to remind us of what's important, what our goals are, what path we need to be on, so that we can make good informed decisions. Maybe you can't go away with your buddies for the weekend on a trip, even as much as you'd like to. Maybe a full weekend away is just too much right now. And even though it would be fun, and you know what, I've got these things to do. I got to stay on track with my goals. Maybe that theme word is a good reminder for you when you see it on your computer screen, on a post-it note, or on your phone alarm, or whatever, again, method you kind of use. It keeps you in track. And it's a quick reminder, again, instead of thinking of your very smart goal that you set from last week, it was probably a little wordy and a little long because you want it to be that SMART acronym to be in there. You want all these details to be set and have a very specific goal that's set for you and is very clear and concise. So that may be a little wordy. So to think of that goal in your head every time something comes up, again, it could take a bit of extra time. Or a nice theme word can maybe that ties into your goal, something quick to think of. Okay, for me last year was action. So if I take on this other class, can I put action into my own business? Can I put action into PatFacts? Can I put action into my tasks at work that I have to do every day at my full-time job? It was a good reminder and a good cue for me to help me make decisions and maybe say, you know what, I'd love to help, but I just have a lot on the go right now, and this just doesn't really align with what I'm looking to do. I'm sorry. Good luck. And what I try to do to be helpful, but probably to make myself feel better too for saying no, as I try to recommend somebody. You know what, I'd love to help you with this. I can't right now, but I know someone who can. Reach out to this person. Or I'm going to reach out to someone to see if they can help you. I'll get back to you. And then that's, you don't sort of abandon them, so you still feel like you've helped. But then maybe that's a good fit for the other person, and they can help the first party get to their goals and finish that project too. So that's a way for me that I kind of work through it and try to be a little better at saying no when I give an alternative. So I don't feel like I'm kind of leaving people high and dry. which we never are, but it just feels that way sometimes when we have to say no. So your theme word is great for that. So again, helping you stay on track and helping you with your decision-making process, whether it's taking on more things, um, just even day-to-day decisions. Again, if you're looking to maybe get stronger, get healthier, lose some weight, what you're eating, what you're taking into your body, what you're consuming, what you're doing extracurricular wise, can all have an impact on that. So again, that theme word can help you make good choices. Maybe if you're going out for dinner with your friends after work, you make good choices thinking of that theme word and seeing it again, maybe on your phone or in the car, reminds you to maybe just have one drink with dinner, not a bunch of drinks. Maybe to not have dessert this time. Maybe have a salad with your dinner, or the healthiest option you can find on the menu. Helps us make those good choices so that again, we don't put ourselves backwards in our progress, and we don't get so down on ourselves or so negative on ourselves of, oh, here I go again. I went for dinner and I splurged too much and I ate too much and drank too much. That's just like usual. And then we self-talk ourselves out of progressing towards our goal. It can kind of be a preventative measure, having that theme word to remind you to make those decisions and to stay on track and what it is you're working towards. So again, it's like that, kind of like that accountability buddy that goes to the gym with you. You know they're counting on you. They keep you motivated and going. These theme words are a great way to do that for you as well. And the more you see them, again, the more you're reminded of them, the better decisions you'll make, and it'll help you stay on track moving towards your goal. And that's ultimately what we want. We don't want to be robots and never have any fun, but we want to make sure we're being smart about what it is we're doing and thinking of the end goal that we're trying to work towards. Because remember, there will be, not if, but there will be obstacles thrown in your way. Things are going to come up and be thrown in your way this coming year. It's going to happen. Who knows what they are? They could be small, they could be big, but there's going to be something that comes up. At least something, could be some things that come up that you have to work through or over or around and deal with to stay on track. So the more we can have these systems in place, and a theme word is part of our system, then again, it strengthens our resiliency, it helps us stay on track, and it helps us better handle some of these problems because we're not trying to dig ourselves out of such a big hole, because we're keeping ourselves moving forward, we're making good choices, we're doing the best we can. So when these obstacles come up, we've got a good foundation around us, and we can work through these problems, even if it knocks us back maybe a couple steps. That's okay. We're not going to go back 10 steps because we've got theme words, we've got our goals set, and our smart, we've got contingency plans set up that again we'll talk about in a few weeks. So we were able to handle these situations and issues and not get maybe knocked back 10 steps, but maybe 2 steps back. That's not as big of a hill to climb back up. So we're building that in. So we're trying to prepare ourselves for anything and be as proactive as we can versus reactive. It's better to have a plan and have to tweak and adjust it than to have nothing at all and just kind of fly by the seat of your pants. And again, this is just a small key or a key cog in the wheel that is your system to work towards your goals. So thinking of those theme words. Your theme word could also be a little bit of inspiration, maybe motivation, maybe discipline. Depending who you ask, there's some different viewpoints on motivation, whether it's an actual thing or internal or external. I think it's a bit of both. We get it from external sources, but we have to be motivated ourselves to do what it is we want to do, or we won't do it. No matter how much I sit here and can motivate you, or Tony Robbins can motivate you, or whoever it is can really amp you up. If you're not motivated internally, then it's going to fizzle out eventually. You're going to look for that next external motivation. If you can't find it, then you kind of get in trouble, or you get stuck or slowed down. So, but our theme word could be that kind of that spark that we need to get that motivation going. Again, as it reminds us to stay on track and make good choices, it reminds us what our goal is as well. So again, maybe that's where it gets us going. Maybe those days where you're like, it's windy outside, it's cold, it's rainy, I don't want to go for a walk today or a run outside. Theme word's there to remind you of what your goal is and how important it is to you. Because again, we talked about having our goal and knowing our why when we set our goal. So your theme word should tie into your goal, which ties into your why. So the theme word hits your why and triggers that for you to remind you of the reason you're progressing toward the goal you want to, why you set the goal, why you're striving towards it. So maybe on those days where it's just so tough, I don't want to go to the gym, I don't want to work out, I don't feel like going to work today, I don't want to do that course that I signed up for, that theme word can really help spark that and trigger that motivation in you to, oh yeah, okay, I'm doing this to have a better relationship with my kids. I'm doing this to have a better quality of life. Whatever your why is comes back, and that's again what motivates us and drives us to keep moving forward. So that's why we're trying to do these in sections, so you can have your goal set and know your why when you're setting your goals. And again, if you choose to use a theme word, tie that all in together too. So again, it's a nice quick reminder for you. It's almost like, I don't have mine on, it's in my, but if you have one of those wristbands on, you snap the band and give yourself a little flick, or a rubber band on your wrist and snap it, or someone flicks you. It's that little kind of jolt, that little reminder. We're using the theme word. It's kind of like that, almost like a little flick in the side of the head to remind you to stay back on track, to remind you why you're doing what you're doing, to remind you why you're so important and why you deserve to be top priority, because you do. Our theme word helps us remember all these things, and that in turn helps us stay on track as much as we can, to stay on point, to keep moving forward, working towards that goal, so that every day we get a little bit closer. And what I'd like you to do is, as we go through this, and again, if you missed last week's episode, go back, check it out. It's on all my platforms where you're watching this. If it's not on Twitch, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. So check it out there. But go back and watch our talk about goal setting. Go back even a couple of weeks when we really ramped up and started talking about gratitude challenges and different things to look for as fall was coming, preparing for holidays, different things to look into as the holiday season was coming. What can we do and prepare for? Looking into that. That's all going to help us get ready as we head into 2023. So go back a couple of weeks if you missed the episodes. Catch up a little bit. Get some of the information, get some of the backstory of the goal setting and the why, the SMART goals we talked about. Get that information, put all these things together, and try to really tie everything up into a nice bow, a nice package of your 2023. And then it's October 19th. So we've still got November, December to go of this year, half of October basically to work through as well. So you got 2.5 months to really get this fine-tuned and going and build some momentum. Again, even if you're just putting the plans in place and the systems in place and theme words, and again, we'll talk about a contingency plan in a few weeks, having that set up as well for when, not if, but when those obstacles should show up. Even if you're just putting that groundwork down before January 1st, and then January 1, you start on your goal, you're still, again, 2.5 months ahead of most people, because most people wait until January 1st. Oh yeah, it's New Year's, I should set a resolution because Bob down the street is too, and they'll ask what mine is. And they set one, they throw it out there, and for a couple of weeks they do it, and then they fall off because they don't have these systems in place. They didn't prepare, they didn't plan, they didn't make a system, they didn't think of options and backup plans. And what if something goes wrong? What do I do when something comes up at me, when life throws a wrench into my plans? What do I do? You'll have that benefit on them, and that's going to set you up for a higher success rate than most people as well. So it seems like a lot of work. It probably seems early because we're only mid-October, but trust me, putting the work in now will pay off so much more in the end when December 31st, 2023 comes and you've accomplished your goals, maybe even earlier than that, and you've progressed so far forward and you're such a different, more evolved, better person. And all these people around you are going to go, wow, what's she been doing? What's he been doing? Well, you had a 2.5 month head start on everybody else. So you upped your success rate. You had good momentum going into the year. You had trial and error. Maybe you tried some things and already knew what didn't work. So you could get rid of those, bring in the new things that do, and really build that momentum and get going. So it's worth it. A little bit of upfront work is going to pay off so much at the end rather than trying to react and scramble the whole way through the year. Just going to pop into the comments here. This is such a true one. Bonnie, thanks for sharing. Bonnie says, every day I'm a work in progress. or work in progress. And so true, we all are. Hopefully, we're always a work in progress. We want to be able to keep things moving forward and trying to better ourselves and grow and evolve. We should always, hopefully, we're all trying to be a work in progress because none of us have it figured out. I know I sure don't. We're always trying to get things better, figure things out, make things more efficient, make ourselves the best version of ourselves that we can be. And that takes time. That takes patience. It takes consistency, like we've talked about before. That's why I don't come on typically as a fitness coach. I'm usually not a big challenge person, 8-week challenge, 6-week challenge. I'll do a program, maybe a specific program, like my Slope Fit is an 8-week ski conditioning and snowboard conditioning or prep program. But I'm not big on a 30-day, do this in 30 days and do whatever, lose 6 pounds in 4 days, whatever. I'm not big on the challenges. I'm trying to, again, approach this as a lifestyle. A 6-week challenge can help you jumpstart yourself and get yourself going maybe, but you have to have the systems in place when the 6-week challenge ends. And for a lot of us, that's when the tough part happens. The challenge ends, the coaches aren't there anymore, the Facebook group is deleted because the program's over, and then what? You're kind of by yourself trying to figure things out. Now, there are some programs that do a great job of with a challenge and lead you into some programming or set you up for some success. I'm not saying they're all that way. But for me, I would rather promote long-term health, fitness, physical activity, and a lifestyle to, again, progress through this every day of our life, to be a work in progress every day, because we are. We say here, ascend till the end. Ascend till the end is another way to say I'm a work in progress. I'm always getting better. I'm always changing. I'm evolving. Your life experiences are going to shift you and change you and shape you and mold you. And that's going to change maybe what your goals are or how you approach them or what you know works and what doesn't work. And we can work through that and change that a little bit as we go, taking ourselves into account and holding ourselves accountable to ourselves, but also those around us. Just another comment here from Natty. Don't wait for the new year. Make changes whenever the inspiration hits you. And hopefully going through some of this process will generate that inspiration for you. Sometimes we wait for the perfect moment to go. And sometimes we just need to get going. Sometimes the inspiration for some people, it might not hit them. Things could be rough. Things are challenging. Things are tough. There could be inspiration there. Maybe they just don't recognize it because of all the other maybe garbage they're dealing with right now. So if there is no inspiration, again, the goal setting, the work that you put in for, yes, it's work, but anything worth having is worth working for. Put the work in, and sometimes that will create that inspiration for you. Knowing your why will create the inspiration. Knowing your why and your goals and your theme word to tie those things together, again, that could be the inspiration that maybe you're just looking for, maybe you're missing, maybe you're not sure which way to go. Do some of the work. Put the work in, just a little bit each day. And again, you don't have to have your goals set right now and have them in concrete and stone etched in and that's it. That's what I'm doing. We're planning this out. We're working on this. We started this early October into mid-October to give you the time to work through this a bit and not feel pressured and not feel rushed that you have to throw something out there and hope it sticks. You can work towards it. You can build on it. You can grow. You can share with each other in our communities here and help each other and learn from each other, motivate each other, inspire each other maybe, but by your experiences and what you've been through. So again, don't feel like there's a one way to do this and don't feel it has to be immediate. We're trying to make use of our time. I've got my Acadia rugby shirt on, go Axemen. But thinking of back to school, you always had time to do things, right? You got your syllabus at the beginning of the year that said your projects, your assignments that were due that year, when they were due, when reading weeks were, when was going on. And what did most of us do? We thought, oh, I've got lots of time. It's okay. I'll start it tomorrow. I get time. I'll start it tomorrow. And then the night before, you're trying to cram and get things done because you didn't get quite enough work done leading up to that due date. Let's try not to do that with this. Use the time you have now to build up for it. And use the time you realistically have. Maybe it's 20 minutes a day. Maybe it's 10 minutes a day. Maybe it's 30 minutes every other day. No judging. It's whatever works for you right now. Just try not to make the excuse of, I don't have time. None of us have the time. We have to make the time, myself included. But again, that's part of the work. That's part of the process. Okay, how much time can I commit to this every day or every week? What can I put into it? Can I start with every other day to get going? And then by a certain date, maybe then I'll decide in 2 weeks of every other day, then I'll go daily. I'll make the time to work on this daily to get that momentum once I get into a bit of a routine. Again, there's lots of different options to work through and look for. You just have to find what works best for you. And that's going to take work. It's going to take trial and error. There's no one guidebook to look at to know what works best. If so, everyone would be fine and great and have everything they want because they could just follow the blueprint. But we're all different. There's no one way to do it. Take what you learn from these. Take what you hear from other coaches. I know like Bonnie listens to Blake and Val, or any kind of shows that our friend Blake Miles is in, who hopefully will join us soon to talk about vision boards. I know Bonnie, that's how Bonnie and I met, was through her watching Blake. So Blake's going to give opinions on things and ways to do things and his methods that he's been trained. So maybe you take a bit of what Blake says, a bit of what I say, a bit of what this person says, and then you make it towards you, make it work for you. That's what I do as a coach, as a fitness instructor and a presenter at conferences. When I would attend conferences, I would watch the presenters and say, oh, they have a kind of a similar personality to me. I could take some of what they're doing and make it my own, but use that to create sort of my style. I like that as a presenter. So when I become a presenter, I'm going to incorporate that into some of my lessons, or that version of that, or a style of that into it. And that's what I did when I created sort of what I do here. It's me, but it's a little bit of this guy and some of this guy and some of this person, some of this experience brought in to put it all together. And that's what you do with your information. You take in a bunch of stuff and you build the best plan and system that works best for you. Who knows what that might be? But hopefully you get a lot of tidbits and information from here. And that's why you keep coming back every Wednesday at 6 p.m. So again, just to summarize with our theme words. Natty says she loves vision boards. Yeah, we're gonna Blake and I have chatted quickly. We're just trying to figure out a time. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get them here. And now that we have our goals, we have our theme words, we know our why, then we can create a vision board around that to help us see our maybe our theme words and how we're going to look and feel and live and what's going on when we've reached our goals. So again, it's another cue, another reminder to go. So once I get more details on that, we'll let you know. But I'm hoping that if Blake's schedule permits, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll get that going. So we're going to add that and trying to give you the tools that we can for, again, a very successful 2023 to keep us moving and growing as people and being that work in progress, like Bonnie mentioned earlier. So again, theme words, they help us stay on track when obstacles get thrown our way. They help us with our decision making, whether it's not taking on too much, knowing when to say no, and even just trying to stay on track, making those good everyday decisions to keep us moving forward towards our goals, so that when something comes up, maybe we can just get knocked a couple steps back, not 5 or 10 steps back. So we don't have that hill to reclimb when things are thrown in our face. We can deal with that. They're great reminders, great way to stay on point. Sometimes a great way to challenge our energy too, for feeling a little tense or uptight or unsure. That theme word's a good reminder that, you know what, I've got a plan, I've got a system, I'm good to go. The last thing I want to mention, because I think I got away from it and get into the comments and get off on a bit of a tangent there. Weird, I know, but it happens. With your theme words, I'm going to share mine in a few minutes. I'd encourage you to share yours. Hopefully you'll share it with us in the comments and the chats, wherever you're checking us out. But if that's not comfortable for you, at least share with some friends, share with your coaches, share with a colleague, share with a loved one, a family member, whatever it is. Put your theme word out there and share. Maybe that will inspire that person to develop their own theme word, or maybe their theme word ties in with you, or maybe your theme word ties in with them, and they can gain some motivation from that. And like we've talked about so much, that accountability partner is so important in any kind of personal development, really. If they know your theme word, maybe they can throw it out there once in a while. They can send it to you. They can text it to you. Action. and just send a text. That's a cue. You see it. That reminds you of what you need to do. Maybe if you're out somewhere together, they just kind of say it and mention it out there. Throw that word at you. They call you. They leave a voicemail. They write it on a note and throw it in your on your desk. You see when you get into work next. Something. Again, those cues and having that accountability. Again, it sets us up for more success. So we want to set ourselves up for as much success as we can and have as many people in our corner as we can to help us keep working through. So please share your theme word once you know it. Again, even if it's not tonight, if it's on the recording later, or maybe next week as we're talking about something else, again, let us know your theme words, and then we'll try to revisit those throughout the year to, again, help us all stay on track and remind ourselves. We did a few months ago, we did a check-in of our 2022 theme words to help finish off the year strong, to kind of refocus us. We'll do that as 2023 goes on as well. So share with others, share with us if you're comfortable to do so. Again, we live by our one of the many mantras, but from our pal Peter Twist: don't just make the team better. And that's why we like to share so much here on all our platforms. And I try to relate between the platforms that are going on. But we've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter and YouTube that we broadcast to in some shape or fashion. So a lot of communities out there, a lot of different eyes on this. Again, share. Let me know in the comments, in the chats. Send me DMs, whatever works. Send those theme words out. And again, if not, at least share them with people in your circle, in your environment, so that they can help you through that too. And a good point from Natty here: don't beat yourself up if things don't go as planned. Be a bit flexible, for sure. And if you go back to one of the early editions of PatFacts, I don't think it had a name. It might have been the first one. We talked about being flexible. Max Flex is what we called it in Afghanistan. Maximum flexibility. Things will come up. Things are going to go happen. Schedules will be thrown off. Shipments will be thrown off when you're there. You have to be maximum flexibility, be able to adapt to changes and move along as best you can. So yeah, don't beat yourself up. Again, no one's perfect. We're all learning. We're all, as Bonnie said, a work in progress. So because of that, stay with it. Don't beat yourself up. There's going to be hiccups and bumps in the road. That's okay. That's why we put these systems in place. We can work through them. We can get by them and get back on the whole old horse and keep moving forward. Thanks so much, Bonnie, for being here. We're just going to wrap up here. So if you get a couple minutes, I'm going to share my theme word just as we wrap up here. If not, you can catch it next time. But my theme word for 2022 was action. And I'm going to hold on to that for 2023. I still feel like there's some good action I can take, and it's a good reminder for me. So I'm going to hold on to that one a little bit. But my main theme word, or my new theme word for 2023, is focus. As Trina Gray says, WTF, what the focus? Focus is my theme word for 2023. I find with working full time and trying to launch my own business, be with my family, try to have a bit of me time as well, my focus wavers a little bit. There's so much out there to distract us with our devices and people needing us and different things going on and in the world and the environment around us. It's very tricky. So focus is going to be my theme word for 2023. So my plan is with focus, that'll help me with action. That's why I'm keeping action into 2023 as well. So I'm going to have a couple of theme words with that. Better focus is going to result in better action, which is going to result in better results. I said that too many times, but that's okay. That's my theme word for 2023. Building on that. So hey, Kimmy, welcome in. Good to see you. So that's what we're going to work on. So focus. I looked last night for a song I was going to try to share, but I couldn't find one. The intros were too long on them before it actually got to the word focus. But we're looking for some with that. And again, it may not be a song, but an alarm on my phone labeled focus to go off a few times a day to remind me of that. And again, having it here on my computer screen or on my desk, just as a reminder as well to that. So again, I find it's a very challenging for any of us with everything out there, all the distractions just on our devices. There's so many distractions on our one device that we have to deal through and work through. And we've talked a little bit before about how I've tried to limit my distractions on my device with some of the settings I've changed and things. But with that, and again, trying to launch a business, get that set up and organized and what to do, and try to be the best person to my family I can be. Focus is hard. You pulled in a few different directions and you feel like you just need that time to unwind. Hey, Gwen, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. It's hard to focus. And if you can't focus, you can't get much done. We've talked about the importance of focus on our tasks and being present. So we're going to build on that. So again, focus will help my presence. If I have good presence, then I get better work done. I can take better action and see better results. So I'll reach that goal that I have in at the end of 2023, having my online business going with a few specialized programs and some in-person training as well, and some on-demand workout platforms. So focus is my theme word for 2023. So we'll be checking in throughout the year to do that. But again, now if you know your goal, have your why attached to that. What's that deep down reason you're working towards that goal? And again, if you're not sure, if you missed that episode, go back to last week's show, check it out. We talked about goal setting, SMART goals, knowing your why as you're setting, or even before you're setting your goal, depending on how it works. It could be before, it could be after, when you have those goals in place. Come back, check out our theme word episode. Even go back a couple of weeks when we talked about kind of preparing for the holiday season and things to look out for and things to keep in mind as we get into that fourth quarter of 2022. Go back a few weeks, rewatch some things. Even if you were here with us live or on recording the week of or something, go back, check it out, refresh a bit, build up that system, build up those plans to get you off on the right foot now. Again, instead of waiting until January 1st, put in the legwork now to have a great 2023. So again, my theme word for 2023 is focus, and I'm going to keep action. My 2022 theme word is going to carry over. I'm going to have great focus. It's going to bring me better action, which is going to turn into better results. So watch it, world, here I come. 2023 is going to be a great year for myself and all of you as well, because I can see the motivation here in the chat and in the comments, and feel the energy coming from you guys, and I love that. So it's going to be a great year for all of us. Again, if you're watching this now or recording or when you're ready, let me know your theme word. Put it here in the chats. Put grilled cheese, social eater, welcome in. Eatery, sorry, welcome in. Put it in the chats, put it in the comments, send me DM. I'd love to hear from you what your theme word for 20 or phrase. Remember, I pick words, could be a phrase or a mantra, whatever is best for you. That's going to keep you on track, keep you focused with your goals, and help you make the best decisions possible to, again, set yourself up for ultimate success in 2023. So that's it for tonight, gang. Again, next week, we're either going to talk about a holiday plan and guide, or a vision board. Again, it depends if I can get Blake to join us. Depends on his schedule. Either vision boards or maybe a holiday plan we're going to chat about next week. We'll see what we can figure out. So thanks so much for being here. Natty, if there's anyone to raid on Twitch, go ahead. If not, no worries. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe. Remember that cold flu season is ramping up. It's kind of here already. So self-care is so important. Anything that's going to help your immune system. Good sleep, good eating, hydration, stress management as best you can. If you take in supplements, do what you need to do, but try to get as best you can from natural sources. But let's ramp up that immune system. Let's keep our self-care high so that we don't have to worry about being sick throughout the year. Thanks, Quentin, for tuning in. Good to see you, bud. We'll see you very soon. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Remember, always make yourself the priority that you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Have a great night, guys. We'll talk to you soon.